And he's got to hate Nick. It's 2 games in a row. Completely shut him down. Took him right out of the game.
Yeah.
Well, that was a fun game. That was memories of old Big Ten basketball. So very physical, which we're proving we can play that way. We started figuring that out last year, and we've had 2 really hard, tough matches against teams that really play the same way and hard to guard off the bounce. And, you know, for us to hold a Big Ten team to 33% shooting, we held them scoreless until the last 3 that went in. The last 4.5 minutes of the game when it was winning time. And we win a game by double figures when we shoot very poorly. I thought we took bad shots in the first half, and we talked about that at half, and I thought we settled down on offensively in the second half. We took better shots. We just didn't make them, and that's going to happen. And that's why your livelihood's got to be at the defensive end, and this team has a chance to do that. And you know, we had a lot of good plays in the second half defensively that were winning plays when we had a night where we couldn't score. We scored really easy the other night, and the second half it didn't come as easy tonight. And I thought what we did defensively was really good and a huge key.
Coach, how important is a game like this early on to be able to see how you guys can win in different ways?
Well, you know, I think just being able to, that first week is never easy, and when it wasn't easy up in Seattle last year, and we were able to come away with the win. So to be able to sweep Washington in a home and home is huge. And now we get a day off, and we got a big week with Weber State and Santa Clara. That's a big week for us to set up now the MTE that's less than 2 weeks away. So it's just about getting better every night. And this team's fun to coach. They're hardworking guys. I'm very blessed that, you know, these guys are very unselfish and they're working. And some of the stuff that happened in the first half is they're just trying too hard offensively. And you got to let offense come to you sometimes. Defense, you need to be aggressive and physical. And I thought we were that all night. And you know, I can't say enough about Nick. You know, this is 2 years in a row. What happened at Logan last year and what happened here, Asabor gets our respect. There are very few guys where our defense is going to be about trapping every time you catch it. So that tells you the respect I have for Asabor. And I think he is an outstanding player. And 2 of maybe his toughest games have been against Nick. If you just statistically look at it, he hadn't had too many games where he hadn't had a field goal. And I just thought, and it's not all Nick, but Nick was a big part of it. I thought Brandon was really good, especially in the second half. And I thought KJ gave us really good minutes in the minutes he got. So our bigs took the challenge because they are big. And I thought that was a key for us.
Yeah, could you just speak on, you know, being able to hold Great Asabor just to 3 points and just how important of an emphasis you knew that was going in, that he can be a very powerful player, and to not let him get to the line much either? Yeah,
you know, I think the other night he got 16 free throws. Tonight he got 4. He got no baskets. He turned the ball over 5 times. We'll take that. If you tell me that before the game, it's not easy to do on a great player like that. So tribute to our guys. They followed to a T the game plan and the adjustments that we had to make at halftime, although very subtle defensively. They did a really good job of following what we wanted to do. And it's all credit to the guys, you know. And we got a good defensive mix to us. I think our offense will just continue to get better, like it was the other night. We we were a little bit out of character in the first half. Second half, we took better shots. We just didn't make them, and that'll happen. And that's why we got to hang this hat. We got to hang this big hat on what we're doing defensively. And you hold this team to 53 and hold them down and shoot. We out-rebounded them by 8. That was a concern. We got 13 offensive rebounds. We did a lot of good things tonight in a game that didn't have a great flow to it. But sometimes, especially early on, are going to be slugfest like this, and very proud of how we finished the last 8 minutes.
Did you talk about Tyler Rollison and just the spark
Absolutely.
he brought to your team tonight?
Yeah, I think Tyler came in and he played really well in Logan last year, and we showed him film of last year, his activity, his toughness, and I thought he did that. Other than the start in the second half, when he first came in, he made a couple bad decisions, and he learned from it, and he's shown maturity. You know, he's just a sophomore, and last year he made those mistakes, and I get on him, and then he's going to hang his head. Tonight, he understood it. And when he got back in the next time, we couldn't take him out because he was really good at both ends. And, again, that's a tribute to him. I think he grew up. He matured some tonight. And we've just got to keep developing that bench. That's going to be a big key for us, and our bench has got to understand it. We got a lot of sophomores. Most of our age is in the starting unit. So that bench has got some young guys in it. They've just got to – I know how hard but they're just pressing a little bit. And we've got to – keep watching film with them, and they're going to keep developing. And a big key for us by the time we get to conference play is how much that bench develops, and that's going to be a big key for.
Coach, last game you mentioned that your offense outpaced your defense. What did you?
Yeah,
think
now
about
it's the
today's
flip.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's the flip. And but I hope that's a sign of a pretty good team. Where we didn't guard real well in the opener, but we were able to do the things offensively to get the win. Now, just 5 days later. We couldn't make anything, and yet we guarded it. Our defensive efficiency tonight had to be in the 80s. It was 94 at half, and we gave up 24 points in the second half. So we had to be in the low 80s with an efficiency defensively tonight, which is phenomenal. So that's a good credit to the guys, where they can have a big offensive night, turn around and not make anything and not hang their head, but find out that if they guard at a high level, they can win, and not just win, but win going away in the last couple minutes. So very, very pleased with how they guarded.
You mentioned that this game didn't really have a whole lot of offensive flow. What does it mean to this group that whether you guys are on or off, Kobe Sanders can still give you 20-plus every game? Well,
I think Kobe's obviously his first 2 games, he's done a lot of good things for us, not just offensively but defensively. And, you know, tonight we were down. We talked about it at halftime. A big part of what we do is we're physical. I think we're fundamental, and that helps us defensively. And we're in attack mode offensively, and we were down at the free throw game at half. And second half, we started getting to the line, you know. And so when the game ends, they make 8 free throws. We make 17, and so they shot 13. That's our goal: make more free throws than our opponent shoot. And that wasn't the case at halftime. And so though we didn't shoot it well tonight, we did. I think we were a lot better offensively in the second half. And Kobe, obviously being our point guard, helps a lot. But now we're also learning how we can play with him and Tyler out there. And so we're playing with 2 point guards at times.
Last game we saw Daniel Foster today, crutches and a boot. Yeah. What's his availability? He's
nursing a tough ankle. He's in a boot and nursing it, getting treatments. He's going to be day to day. We'll know more. We get a day off tomorrow, and he gets more treatments. Obviously, he's a huge key because he's a veteran player that both offensively and defensively helps us in so many different ways. So we got to get him back, but we also want him to be healthy to get back. So taking our time on that, just listening to the medical staff. But the length of time, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be lengthy. I don't think it's a lengthy injury, but it is an injury that it might take him a week to get back.
Coach, going back to Nick, from the day he first stepped foot on campus with your program, did you ever envision, especially what he's doing on defense, that he could turn into this kind of guy?
Nick? Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know what? I know to trust Nick, and I think Nick would tell you he knows how much our staff trusts him. What he did in his redshirt year was phenomenal, and he prepared for this. And we were talking about today that we scrimmaged Oregon last year, flew to Portland, went down to Eugene, and he wasn't in the starting unit last year at this time. So 13 months ago, Nick wasn't starting, and now not only is he starting, he's one of the 5 best players in this league. And may end up being the best player in the league. He's put in the work, And we've had several guys do that. But Nick is reaping the benefits of somebody who's worked awfully hard, and each year he just gets better and better. And tonight was an indication of that. He's on the floor 38 minutes. Osborne played 31. He's outplaying a lot of people, and now for the first time in his career, he's getting double teamed. He hadn't been double teamed. Now when you get double teamed, that's tribute to who you are. And now we just got to continue to work on that and play off of that. So Nick is everything he does. It's very deserving because of how much he's worked.
Obviously, beating a Big Ten team is going to look on your resume down the road. When it comes to an overall standpoint of the team, seizing an opportunity and getting it done, what does that mean?
It's huge because we're blending guys too. We're like a lot of teams with guys out of the portal. You can talk about what you've done in the summer. We didn't have Kobe all summer. Kobe didn't get here till August, and so we're blending guys that are learning what we're about, learning what we're doing. We're getting new boards to the Atlantis building just so our guys can see the goals that haven't been here and those type of things. But and our bench is a lot of our new young guys. So we got to be patient there. But to get 2 wins, 2 double-digit wins against, I think, 2 teams. I think Sam Houston's going to win a lot of games. Washington's really without a point guard right now, and they're trying to figure things out, but they're very, very big, and obviously they're going in a very difficult league. But to get these 2 wins now leads us into the next 2, and we've just got to get better Monday and Tuesday prepping for those.
Coach, could you just talk about Brandon Love and just his presence at the rim tonight and how important that was?
And that's a developing guy. That's a new guy. And so he's, we talked at halftime, we talked about he played 9.5 minutes, almost 10 minutes, and he get a field goal. We just forgot about him. He didn't get any touches. And then you saw in the second half, I looked at Coach Neal and I go, oh, now they're going to throw it to him every time, even if he's not open. So that was and that's how unselfish our guys are. But a lot of the halftime was Brandon Love's playing as hard as he can. He never got a touch in 10 minutes. We got to get him the ball. And then now we're forcing it to him to start the second half. But you saw what he can do defensively. He is quick. He's athletic. He's got a 7'4" wingspan. He's changing shots at the rim. He had to have a couple blocks tonight. I just thought he changes shots, and he can be a game changer for us in a lot of different ways. He's very, very quick. And I thought he had some really big winning plays for us in the second half.
Just going off of that. So you guys have started pretty fast these first 2 games, whether that be 15-2 against Sam Houston or 19-8 against Washington. But you guys have led the opposing team get back into the game. What do you want to see from the team in the future to avoid those?
Well, that's the bench, and that's not all the bench. Sometimes it's the starters coming back in the second time, but I think that's just the development of the bench. And we got guys out. Daniel's out. We've got. Jariah may redshirt. Amir's, considering that as well. We've got Jariah or Yuto's already redshirting. So we've just got a lot of things here early in the season because of the way the rules are that we're just looking at. So I said it at my last press conference, after six months off, and now you get a new team, subbing is I got to get back into that too. So just trying to find those right combinations. But right now, our starts have been great. Our finishes have been great. And that's a huge key to winning. If you can first 7-8 minutes be really good, last 7-8 minutes be really good, that's a huge key to success. And I think as our bench develops, we won't have so many of those lulls.
Any other questions, Coach?
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, Trey, start with you. For both of you guys, though, just how great does it feel to get another win here tonight against a Big Ten team?
It feels great, them being in the Big Ten. But for us, we got to keep striving to get better and better every game. It's only game 2. So just getting back to the drawing board and getting better every game is our plan, our goal.
Yeah, basically what he said. I think this is one of the first times we beat a Big Ten in
Yeah,
school
in
history.
school history, yeah.
So, yeah, that's one big thing I think about the game. But also, just like you said, just get back to the drawing board and just focus up on Weber State next.
It is so early in the season, but how nice is it knowing that you guys can win in different ways? Monday's game was an offensive battle. Tonight, more of a defensive battle.
I mean, I think it's great, being able to lean on both sides of the court whenever you need to. And once one's not going well, the other one's always going well. So I think that's just big for us, and knowing that in the back of our heads that if we're not hitting shots, we can play defense still.
Tyler, for you to go out there tonight and to be a spark off the bench in the second half, I guess, how does that feel for you and to be able to contribute in such a way?
It felt good. My teammates, everybody trusts me on the court, so I just go out there and just be myself and then just play hard.
Trey, for you, just where do you feel like the turning point was tonight?
When we hit adversity, going into halftime, we missed a bunch of shots, but we're still close in the game. We let them come back a little bit, and I just think going into halftime, I think that's where we switched, coming back out,
Trey, last game, Coach was mentioning that the offense outpaced the defense. Today he said it was the opposite. What's it going to take to have just a complete effort on both sides of the floor?
Just staying consistent. It's a new team. We just got together this summer, but I think it's getting there.
Just offensively, with Kobe Sanders being able to put up 20-plus every game, how pivotal is that to this team, regardless of flow of the game, that he's able to give you that offensive production?
It's great. Throughout the game, we obviously trust Kobe as our point guard, and he's doing great.
Tyler, I personally have never taken anybody's ankles, but you seem to do that at least like once a game. What does that feel like when you're out there and I see the smiles when you drop somebody?
I like to joke around during practice, so like when people guard me, I'll try to make them fall or do some funny stuff in practice. So it just carries on to the game when somebody's guarding me and trying to pick me up like full court or just try to pressure me. I could just get some pressure release off me.
Trey, you always pride yourself on defense. What exactly was Nick doing to great down low? You hit it pretty well, but going on the bench, the guy was frustrated from beginning to end.
Yeah, just the same thing we did to him last year when he was at Utah State. If you take away his transition, it's not too hard to stop it.
And this is not the first time you've dropped double digits in the points department, but to be doing it now and you're getting consistent looks, how cool is that for you personally?
It's great, coming from being 18, just arriving here to where I am now, I think it feels great.
Yeah, just for either of you guys, can you speak on Brandon Love and just his presence, what he's able to bring defensively around the rim?
B-Love, he's one of our energy guys, one of the more physical bigs we have. So I think we just trust him down low on the defensive end because he has long arms, and he's just more aggressive.
Any other questions? One more.
Now you guys have a few days until your game next Wednesday. Just kind of what's the mindset going into now that you have some days off?
We just got one day off tomorrow, so our mindset really is just getting ready for Weber State. Not really. Obviously, we got our first 2 games in the back of our head, but we're not really dwelling on those too much. We got the win, so we're moving on now.
How important is it now that you are home next weekend for a pair of games too to try and keep the winning streak going before you do hit the road?
It's very important. We put a big emphasis on guarding our home. Getting the win every time we have a home game. So it's really important.
Thank you.
Thank you.